You motherfuckers, I am not wasting any goddamn time. Come here and give me a goddamn kiss, you son of a bitch. I didn't have any fucking time. I wanted to introduce myself. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you, everybody, and to welcome me back, but I didn't have a fucking chance. I didn't have a moment to breathe. Suddenly, you motherfuckers came in here and decided to wish me Happy fucking New Year. Thank you very much, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. I need to thank all of these now. Thank you very much for the Akasupa, too. Jesus Christ. Thank you very... YouTube is being weird about it again. Thank you very much for the Akasupa. Remy? Please? Please, YouTube? Cello, thank you very much. Disguiser, thank you for the Akasupa. Fucking hell. It's not letting me do it! It's not letting me do it! Good to see that even after being gone for a while, that YouTube chat is still absolutely fundamentally fucking busted. I didn't miss it. I missed you guys, of course. I missed you guys terribly much. I missed you so very much. Okay. Tadaima! Tadaima! I'm back! And I'm very distracted. There are a billion different things going on right now, and my fucking soup brain can only focus on about 2. And that's you and the lovely messages that you are sending me. Jesus Christ, thank you so much for all the Akasupas, everybody. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back at the end because I'm trying. I'm actively sat there, scrolling as fast as I can on the page to try and thank everybody, see the old ones, see the new, but I physically can't. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough space. It's not that I don't have enough time. I would, but YouTube is just like, every time I try and click, YouTube's like, no, you don't want to go ahead. You want to go back. You want to go back. And I'm like, no! Lucia, thank you for the Akasupa, and thank you for that red envelope. I have to remind myself how to say... Wait a minute. I have to remind myself how to say it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. How do I... what is it? Xinyan Kuai-La! Xinyan Kuai-La, everybody! Thank you very, very much for wishing me a very, very happy new year. I really, really appreciate it. Xinyan Kuai-La. Oh, God. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to catch you up on, and I'm so sorry that I couldn't stream earlier. Really, genuinely, I'm so sorry that I couldn't stream earlier. I wanted to, but jet lag does not fuck around. Jet lag was out here kicking my fucking ass all the way back to Timbuktu, and I was not happy about it. Harumi, thank you for the rainbow. I need. I'm back. I'm back, my darlings. I missed you so much. Give me a fucking kissy. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's slow down a little. I would have thanked every single one of you who gave me an Akasupa by name, but YouTube didn't seem to want me to, so I'll try going back another time. We still have to do that for the Christmas ones as well. So I'll make sure to do that when I can as well. Whew. Okay. Whew. I'm good. I'm fine. Listen to that music. I missed that music. So, for those of you who haven't been caught up, if you've been living under a rock, the reason that I and the others have been AWOL for a while is the fact that Luxiem, me, and the boys went to Japan! This was my first time in Japan ever since I left it back in 17 it would have been, a good few years after all of those things happened. And it has changed quite a bit in the time that I've been gone. Quite a lot indeed. So cool, thank you very much for the Akasupa. It's changed quite a lot. So much more that, honestly, I think the biggest thing that I would... There are two big things about Japan that I really want to remark on that I so much enjoyed and found interesting. Number one, obviously, is the food. And I'll go on about that for hours. I could talk about the food for ages. And I think I did last time I streamed privately to you. But the first thing that I want to say is the culture shock. Japan is a different place than the UK, and getting used to that was difficult. And I think it's not that getting used to Japan was difficult, it's that reminding myself that I'm not in Japan anymore after having come home. That's the difficult part. Because people treat things differently in Japan than they do in the UK. And all of us are respectful of that. But then when you come back to the UK and you realize that people act in a completely different way, I'm still in Japan mode, basically. Like, I've come back to the UK, and every time I go out, I'm like, shit, I'm not wearing my mask. Even though in the UK, wearing a mask is purely a choice, and most people in this country don't anymore. It was only a requirement during, like, the thickest period during lockdown, and now it's pretty much practiced by nobody. And yet now that I've been in Japan for a little while, I am, like, actively like, oh, where's my mask? Wait a minute, I'm good. It feels missing whenever I go outside. And another thing is that in the UK, we don't tend to bow very often. You might do, if someone bows to you, like, to show respect, but, like, it's not really normal. The most you'll do is sort of, if you're walking past someone in the street, you might nod or something like that. But bowing, we don't do that in the UK. And so I've had to, like, physically restrain myself. I've had to physically restrain myself every time that I walk past a person, every time that I communicate with someone in a shop, every time that I see concierge when I walk back into my apartment. I have to stop myself from going, like, 75 times, because I just got so used to that, right? And of course, the biggest thing that I got used to, that I am so sad about, the legends about Japanese toilets were real. They were true. I've used a bidet, and I love it, and I love it so much. Listen, I have gone to great lengths to make sure that my nethers are nice and clean. But a shower head, Tagaki shower head, sponsored, can only do so much, you see. They can only do so much. You get down there with the strong setting and you try and clean as much as you possibly can, but a bidet does so much more than you would have thought. The first one I experienced was on the plane. So Mr. and I, we flew with ANA, and we flew business class, and we've already talked about this, but we flew to Japan. And the one thing that I didn't mention, because at the time we, for security reasons, could not mention we were in Japan, is the fact that on that plane, there was, of course, a Japanese toilet. And I went to guys, I was like, Mr. My boy, I'm going to take a shit. And I stood up and I walked down the aisle and I sat down and suddenly I saw the controls and I was like, oh, so the legends are true. And I sat down and I don't know what kind of maniac was using the bathroom before me. They had that shit dialed up to maximum water pressure. And I'm not going to say that I enjoyed it, but I definitely did. I sat there and I was like, all right, well, sing with me, sing for the year. And I sat down, I pressed the button, and it was beautiful. Maximum water pressure, full heat setting. And I realized what I had been missing out on my entire life. My asshole had never felt so clean, and I have taken efforts to make sure that it is clean, but it had never been quite that clean before. I was so happy, I was proud, and, well, I had been converted. And so I think that I am going to take steps. I think after I got home... See, the thing about also the heated seats, right? The thing is, I have a fucking... I have a condition. I am severely, what's the word? Afflicted, let's say, by a bad habit. And this bad habit is zoning out on the toilet for an extremely long time. Sometimes I'll be fighting for my life, and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'll just, take a piss. But I might sit down because I want to just relax for a moment. Maybe I'll take a shit, maybe I won't. And then I sit down, get my phone out, and I am there for 25, 30 minutes. And this is at home. This is on an ice-cold British toilet, right? This is on an ice-cold British toilet where, like, there's nothing comfortable about it. I'd be so much more comfortable if I zoned out on my bed, for example, or in a chair. But no, I always choose to do it on the shitter. And yet it's cold and it's hard. And when I stand up, I have pins and needles. I feel like I have to pull a walking stick out and try to nurse myself off of the shitter. In Japan, with the warm seats and the comfort of being able to thoroughly cleanse my ass the instant I have the urge to, why would I ever stand up? Why would I ever stand up? I don't know why. It reinforced my bad habits, and so I think for that reason it is good that I am home, because otherwise I would simply have stayed in that A&A bathroom for the rest of my life. Thank you very much for the Akasupa Kuku Meow. Shinyan Kwaila. Thank you for the Akasupa, I really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone else for the Akasupas that you have sent, and all of the regular supers too. And everyone sending stuff in chat, I really appreciate all of you very much, and I have missed you so much. Second thing I obviously wanted to talk about that I mentioned earlier is the food. So when I got back, I had a Zoom call with my family. They wanted to know how the trip was. And the first thing I said, the very first thing that I said was, British food is shit. British food. I don't know why I didn't know. Leonaki, thank you so much for the Akasupa, my darling. British food is some cold, hard ass. And I didn't know. I had been eating British food assuming that the imitation of Japanese cuisine that I had had in previous years was true to form, culturally accurate, and authentic. Holy fucking Jesus, was I wrong. Also, I have a new stand for my phone, and I'm getting used to using it. There we go. Oh, thank you very much to Murasaki for the Akasupa. I've been so enlightened. Enlightened so far beyond what I thought possible, to be honest. It's slowly twisting. Stop twisting! Stop! Stop twisting. How do I stop it from doing that? No, that's not it. I have a new stand for my phone and it's not Stop twisting! Stop! Stay still. Stop. Stop. I swear to God, I don't even like this thing. It's too short. Please. For the love of all that is fucking holy. Stop! Stop twisting! Why is it doing that? Stop! Stop it! Alright, there you go, there you go, there you go. And boom. Tightened. Stop! Stop! Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Oliver K, thank you for the Akasupa, sneaking out from the family dinner. Oh, you cheeky girl. Thank you very much for the Akasupa. I so appreciate that. Now make sure you get back to your family before they start asking after you. Thank you very much. And thank you to Aura for the Akasupa. Love you so much. Don't worry about being late. So lovely to see you again. Okay, what was the fuck was I saying? Yes. British food. It's trash. And I now know this because I have experienced what another world's cuisine has to offer. Japanese cuisine is so many light years away from British cuisine. It is actually depressing. It is so depressing that I need to come back and live in a country where the food is this bad. We went to so many places. So on the first day that we went there, we were picked up from the airport by Manager-san. And Manager-san immediately, as soon as I believe So I believe we went there with everyone except Shu, because Shu was the last to arrive, and then we went everywhere with Shu after that, right? So it was me, Manager-san, Luca, Mr. and Ike. And we went to this grilled meat place, and that was all Manager-san described it as. He said, oh yeah, it's grilled meat. And I was like, okay, sure. And I wanted to try it out. Yan Chestnut, thank you for the X Super. Bye, ni. Shinyan Kuala. I have a lot of love on Billy later as well. Bluebird, thank you for the Aka Super. My lucky money, thank you very, very much. Anyway, back to the story. Yakiniku, basically. I'm not sure if that's what it is. Stop moving! It's still slowly twisting around. How do I make it not do that? How do I make it not do that? How do I make it stop? Okay. Okay, good. I think I got it. Alright, I fiddle with some screws. I think it's good. Anyway. Phone too heavy? No. This is a little baby phone. Anyway, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. Went to a little grilled meat place, and so... is it yakiniku when you... I'm sounding like such a normie. You kids, is it yakiniku when you take your take a piece of meat and you stick it on a burner in the middle of the table, and then you cook it yourself and then you eat it? Is that yakiniku? Thank you very much. So we went to a yakiniku place. Worry Red, thank you for the Akasupa. I went to a yakiniku place, and this is where my eyes were fucking opened, right? Because beef, steak, cow, that is my fucking way of life. Thank you very much, Worry Red, and Togito for the Akasupa. Beef is my fucking way of life, baby. That is my favorite shit. I love making steak. I love cooking meats. I love rendering fat. I love sticking it in the pan. I love letting it finish cooking in the oven. I love beef. I love seasoning it. I love chopping it. I love cooking it. I love searing it. I love cooking it. And then I love fucking eating the shit. And you do all of that when you go to yakiniku. And we went there. And Manager-san ordered this giant tiered fucking course meal where it was like a spiral staircase. It was like a spiral staircase. It was so, it was so big. A spiral staircase with beautiful like dry ice candles and flowers all over it. And at the top you had ox tongue. So we started with ox tongue. Thank you to Negi for the Aksuba. This is from Yamamaki. Thank you very much. Or Yamaki, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. I wish you good health as well. Started with ox tongue, which was pretty fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice and tender. It was really flavorful. And I thought, damn, that was really good. I was not prepared for what was to come. Because whatever it was that came next, whatever the fuck it was that came next, was this thin strip of meat. I'm not sure what part of the cow it came from, but it was a thin strip of meat. And so in the UK, there are some restaurants that will say they are going to serve you Wagyu beef. They are lying. They are 100% lying. They are not serving you Wagyu beef. They are serving you a pale fucking imitation, because what I was staring at was real A5 Wagyu beef. It was thin, and it was like 80% intramuscular fat. I couldn't believe how marbled it was. I was in awe. Manager-san started cooking it for us because he was more experienced, and he started flipping the meat like a wizard, seared it on one side quickly, seared it on the other side, and just like that, it was done. Handed it to me. And we had a little row of dips that we could use, and so I dunked it in some sort, I think it was in soy sauce, and I gave it a bite. And when I say that cut of meat disappeared, melted in my mouth, melted on my tongue in 3 seconds flat, with all the goodness and happiness from all of the happiness and memories that cow carried with it throughout its entire life up until its death at which point it was then placed upon my plate. All of that love, warmth, and happiness melted straight on my tongue, and I have to say, if I wasn't in a business environment, I would have came everywhere. It was mag-fucking-nificent. And then, as if it can't get any better, and then, Manager-san, on the side of this giant tiered delight, orders this, like, accordion cut of beef. This very tender, I believe it was, it looked like fillets, like a long, expensive-ass fillet steak that had been sort of chopped very finely so that you could stretch it out into like an accordion, almost. And then, obviously, goes in and chops it up, throws it on the burner, hands us all a piece, and it was at this point that I need to give fucking Reimu Endo some credit, because she kept telling me, no, you're gonna love raw egg. And I was like, no, I fucking won't. There is not a rat's fucking chance in hell that I will ever eat, or if I did eat, enjoy raw egg. There is no way. There is no way in hell. But of course, with this cut of meat, we were brought a little plate with a very perfect egg yolk. And sort of like some sort of rice or some kind of like starchy stuff that we had to mix it with. And Manager-san patted me on the back and he said, listen, I promise you, in his own way, obviously he didn't say it like this, but it's how it sounded. He said, I promise you, it's bussin'. And I was like, okay. Handed me the thing, and you let the steak rest, just sit in the egg. Now let me tell you how fucking weird this is to me, because in the UK, raw egg will make you sick. In the UK, well, not always, but a lot of the time, raw egg it will make you sick. It can even carry salmonella. In the UK, eggs are of such poor quality, a raw egg, on a very small chance, might actually be enough to kill you. But in Japan, raw eggs are made better. The chickens are bred and fed better, and so their eggs are safe to eat. And I dipped it in this raw egg, and I ate it. And it was bussin'. It was bussing. It was so good. It was really good. I can't describe it. It was just raw umami everywhere. It was so good. It just coated the entire thing in this really nice, fine, like, sort of gooey mixture that tasted just like a sauce that only accentuated the flavor of the beef. It was magnificent. I was like, raw egg? Are you pulling my fucking dick off? And Manager-san was like, no, I'm not, and I'm offended you would ask. He didn't say that. Neither did I. But, you know, just for dramatic effect. Thank you very much, Ame, for the Akasupa. Thank you to everyone else for all of your lovely contributions today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Nydia, for the Akasupa. I'm really proud of you for your graduation thesis. Thank you, Kasano, and thank you for all of your lovely artwork. Chimney, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you very much for your red envelope. Shinyan Kwai La Waini. Mufang, thank you for the Akasupa. Shinyan Kwai La Waini. Really, really appreciate it. Mia Aris and Negi, thank you very much for the Akasupa. And Kindred Rattan and Michan, thank you very much for the Akasupa. I love you too. All right, moving on. So Saudi, thank you for the Akasupa. And also a big difference that I noticed about Japan. We mentioned it on Mr's birthday stream the other day. In Japan, when you pour a beer, in Japan, they like it with a big... Listen, you're gonna have to... I'm gonna say this and you mustn't laugh because this is the correct phrase. A big creamy head. A lot of foam. Like a good mustache of foam right on the top, you know. Sometimes like a good quarter of the glass is head foam. Now, I want to really emphasize this. If any, because I understand that there are a multitude of Japanese kindred out there, and I really, really love and appreciate you guys, and so I'm telling you guys this as a warning. In the UK, if you pour someone a pint, and there is more than, let's say, 15% foam, there is a non-zero chance you will be punched. In this country, in the UK, We want as much beer as is physically possible. If you get handed a pint that is more than like 20% foam, people will lose their fucking minds. They will say, give me my fucking money back. If they're drunk, they might even start a fight. Thing is, going to Japan and trying my favorite being Sapporo Kuroi Reberu, which I adored. And yes, the thick creamy head on a Sapporo, or even better, the thick creamy head on an Asahi, is just perfection, and it complements the taste of the beer beautifully. I think it might just be the fact that foam in British beer is not very nice, and it tends to just sort of be a lackluster part of the beer, whereas in Japan, it's a part of the experience. So I'm just telling you, if you're ever on tour, traveling the world, if you're in the UK and you think, oh, I'll pour them like I do it at home, please don't. Just tip the glass to one side and very gently roll the beer down the side so that you get as little foam as possible. That's how you please a British man. If you don't please a British man, he's likely to turn into a true Brexit geezer, rev at the Bugatti, and run you the fuck over. That's all I'll say about the meat place. Where do we go next? What was the next big eatery we went to? I can't remember. I think it's because my brain is occupied so thoroughly by the sushi restaurant. Oh my god, the sushi. Oh, the sushi we had. So, you guys know me very well. I don't like seafood. I don't like seafood at all. It doesn't please me. I don't like the flavor. I don't like the taste. I don't like the smell. Seafood doesn't sit right with me on the best of days, on the worst of days. Seafood is my kryptonite. Seaweed especially wipes me the fuck out. I can't stand to be in a room with seafood. However, I was in a new part of town, new part of the world, and I decided, you know what? It's time for something new. It's time to experience a new taste. It's time to experience a new flavor. And so I thought, why not? And manager-san took us to this very upmarket sushi place. I mean, it was this like hidden underground place with a course menu. So it's a set menu, no choices. Everybody gets the same thing brought out in these waves. But of course, I kept, you know. Oh, what was it they taught me to say? On the very first day, I asked how I wanted to ask. Like I asked, I think I asked Ike, how do I ask for another one? And he was like, oh really? He told me it was something else. He told me it was okawari. He said someone told me to say okawari. Oh, what's the other one? Okawari. Okay, that's good. That's good. What's the okawari onegaishimasu? That's the one. They taught me to say that. Okawari onegaishimasu. And so I was saying that. That was like the one thing that I got really used to saying, is that whenever they came in to deliver a new thing, I would kind of lift my glass and be like, okawari onegaishimasu. And they would just be like, all right. That was me asking for more beer. Also, there are some people sending red envelopes and gifts for the new year in Streamlabs as well. I just want to let you guys know that I see you and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. So we went there. And my experience with this sushi place was it was very interesting. Because it started out and I was really apprehensive. I thought, like, I'm gonna get through this quite slowly, like, and I might not eat very much. I had some cup noodle at home, which, by the way, pot ramen or pot noodle in Japan, so much fucking better than it is in the UK. The broth is actually, like, creamy and rich, rather than in the UK where instant ramen is literally just fucking slightly umami-y water with some noodles in it, and the noodles don't even retain the flavor either. Yeah, Bing, thank you very much for the accuracy, for my darling. I thought I would go about it quite slowly. first dish comes out and it's tofu. And I've actually never had tofu before. And it came with some wasabi. That was where I discovered that I really like wasabi. I really didn't enjoy... tofu doesn't have much flavor on its own, usually. And so I generally didn't really enjoy the... the texture of tofu, to be honest. A little too squidgy for me, but it wasn't bad. I still ate it, and I enjoyed the overall thing. Like, it was there with, I think, like a little bit of some sort of cress and radish, and I had that, and I thought it was good. But then, and I'm playing this very inspiring music for a reason, we were brought a little soup, and in that soup, the soup was seaweed flavored, and it smelled it too. And in that soup was a crab cake. I smelled it and I thought, no. I thought, no. No, 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 no. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. And I saw everyone else, and I saw them take their chopsticks, and I saw them put this crab cake straight into their mouth. And so what I did, I broke off a tiny little piece of this crab cake swimming in this soup. And I ate it. And it tasted like seafood. And I expected myself to spit it out. No, don't speak. But then I sat there with the crab cake in my mouth, and I started thinking, this ain't half bad. And so, I took another bite, and I thought, you know what? This ain't half bad at all. And I kept eating, and I ate, until the crab cake was all done. And then, the challenge of the evening had only just begun, for next we were presented with a round of raw yellowtail tuna. And I sat there and I readied myself for battle, readied myself to do battle with this food. We had there was sort of some white cuts of fish and some red cuts of fish in this little bowl. And I stood there and I waited, and of course said my little saying, "Okurare onegaishimasu." Brought me another beer, of course. I needed lots of it. I can't remember what beer I was having. I think it was Kirin. I was having a lot of beer. And I was worried. I thought, raw fish, this is the last thing I ever thought I would want to eat. And I got my chopsticks, and I bent down, and I gave it a sniff, and it didn't smell too fishy. And I thought, maybe it won't be so bad. I took a bite. And I loved it. And I loved it. I thought it was delightful. I scooped the other one up and I put it straight in my mouth right away. And of course it came with a little side of wasabi, and I was running it around in the wasabi, and I was eating plenty of it, and I was loving every single morsel that I was eating. I thought it was so beautiful. But the white cuts of tuna that I had first weren't even anywhere near as good as the red cuts. The red cuts were presented on this little mint leaf, and I picked up the mint leaf with a piece of this red tuna in it and put the whole thing in my mouth, and it might have been the best thing I'd eaten all day. It tasted so unlike anything I was expecting. It was, I don't know, it didn't even taste like seafood. It had this beautiful, like, sort of soft, neutral texture, but with a very powerful, you know, I'm not really sure how to describe the flavor, but it was new, brand new. And I've lived so long, I didn't think there were many more flavors for me to try, and here they were, brand new ones. Laid out in front of me, I'd unlocked a whole new world. And it was at that moment that I realized, I don't hate seafood. I just hate British seafoods. And then came the sushi. Then came the sushi itself. Vinegar rice, wasabi, and a very expensive cut of some kind of seafood over the top. There was shellfish. There was squid. There was a lot of different fish, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was fish. And I had the squid, and I ate it, and I thought, oh, god damn, this is good. But then I looked across the thing, because I was tasting the wasabi, right, and I loved it. I look across the table. And there is Mister. I look at him. My boy. Mr. Reus, what's wrong? What's wrong, mister? What's wrong? And he has tears in his eyes, and he looks at me, and with this fearful expression, he says, bruh, nah. But he's got like a little bit, he's like, nah. It wasn't the fish. It was the vinegar. It was defeating him. He literally had tears in his eyes and was sat there very slowly trying to make it go down. Luca was sat on the opposite side of the table, but like on the same side as me. So like too far away for me to see, but also close enough that I couldn't like easily glance over and look at him. But I heard from Ike that he was also losing his fucking mind at this point. So Mr. battled for his fucking life, and eventually he cleared it up. That piece of squid sushi very nearly defeated him. And I had more. I didn't eat all the sushi because by that point I was getting full, but I had lots of it. There was one piece of cooked fish on the sushi that I didn't like. I thought the texture was a little too soft. It kind of, I don't know, it messed with me a little bit. But other than that, all these incredible flavors, they just affected me. And I knew on that day I hadn't been defeated by seafood. I had won! That went really well with the music, didn't it? I'm a fucking genius. So yes, seafood conquered. Milord has unlocked a brand new cuisine. Not just seafood, but Japanese cuisine as well. To be honest, I'm probably not going to have any seafood in the UK because it took a whole new country to prove to me that seafood isn't always bad. So, the next day, alright, it might have been a few days after that, I can't remember. We had our dinner with the one and the only Riku Tazumi, which was nothing short of a mind-blowing experience. I mean, that was... It was the moment where you realize your dreams have actually come true. You know, you see, I can, you know, you see a man across from you who's built everything from, you know, who's built this whole company by himself, and he's giving you the time of day to discuss, you know, the future of your wave, the future of the branch, make suggestions, ask for changes, and he is a very, very nice man. He is a very, I know it might be difficult to believe that such a mysterious, sort of difficult to get a hold of person is that way, but he genuinely is. He was very receptive to everything we said. Like, we said an awful lot of things that we thought should be different. We said a lot of things that we thought we could be done better, and he was receptive, and he was understanding, and he was polite, and just generally a great guy to be around. I really appreciated having the chance to talk to him and to speak to some other members of staff that we hadn't had the chance to meet yet. There were 2 managers there who we had met prior, and there was 3 who we had not met before coming to Japan. And it was a pleasure to meet all of them. However, that's not what I'm here to talk about, you guys. I am not a CEO reviewer. I'm a fucking food critic now. And we went to this place that somehow... I mean, we were dining with a billionaire, but... which I can say I've done now, which is kind of insane. This place might have been even more bougie than before. This place was so authentic and so Japanese. It was one of those places where you kneel on a cushion and the table is super low to the ground, and we had motherfucking hot pot, baby. And I don't know what the fuck kind of hot pot I've been having my entire life, but that shit was beautiful. That shit was like nectar. That shit was like, oh. Do you want to know something interesting? The sushi restaurant felt like, holy shit, I made it through, right? Brand new flavors, new things, strong flavors that I wasn't used to. This time, when seafood came out, I was happy to eat it. I was like, oh shit, there's seafood, let's go. The main contender for this was a shark fin soup, I believe. It was a tiny little cup. I think it was shark fin, I'm not sure. But I ate it, and I thought, that's a little fishy. Wait a minute. And I just started eating it, and I was like, shit, this is good. I look over at Michael Eveland, who is sat next to me. Aren't you jealous? And he is not quite enjoying his shark fin soup. He's not quite digging it. And so I said, can I have some? And he handed it to me. And I finished his as well. I was enjoying it so much. I was enjoying the seafood that much. It was wild. It was so wild that I was choosing to have more than I needed to. And there was so much seafood. There was more raw tuna. There was more sushi, just as little side dishes. Then they brought out this whole plate of all of these raw cuts of fish that you could cook in this beautiful, big, steaming, brothy, vegetable, boiling bucket of goodness. And I just sat there and I stirred it and stirred it and stirred it and stirred it and stirred it, and it was wow. It was beautiful. I enjoyed every second of that meal. We spoke with a brilliant man, and we had some brilliant food. And I thought that would be the trip at its absolute peak. Scalar won't have any fun in England anymore. Yeah, me too. Me too, baby, right? I thought that would be the absolute peak of my experience in Japan. But I was wrong. I was very wrong. Because the final day was the one day that Luxiem had all to themselves. We went to this hidden away little karaoke bar, found our own little private room, all of these songs on it, and Manager-san dropped us off. He said, you know, have fun, guys. And we went off, and we sat there, and we sang, and we drank, and we drank, and we drank, and we sang, 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 all night fucking long. And you guys read those tweets we were making. You read the live tweets that we were making throughout the entire thing. And I want to say, every single part of that evening that you think is real, the actual evening was better. It was more. Imagine my perspective. Sat on this table, super low to the ground with the little cushions. They have these really good karaoke interfaces, so much better than the ones you get in the UK. On my left is Mr. At some points, he's rapping along to Eminem. He was singing, what is it, Fag. And he fucking killed that. To my right, it's the one and only Ike Eveland, who is stretching his vocal cords to their upper limit, up, 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 so high up, I couldn't, beyond what even I thought could do. And it was so loud. When he sings, he is loud. That boy can project. That boy could fill a cathedral. He could fill the Royal Albert Hall before they corrected the fucking... He could fill the Royal Albert Hall before they made the acoustic mushrooms at the top. He could fill any space with pure sound. He's the real voice demon, I'll tell you that much. Thank you very much, Nabi, for the Akasupa. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Leo Shah, for the Akasupa. I really appreciate that as well. Thank you, Shinshu, for the super. Thank you very much to Shang Shang. Thank you, Mimi, for the Akasupa. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you, Yubo, for the Akasupa. Thank you, Fei Li, for the Akasupa. Thank you, Lily, for the Akasupa. Thank you, Sue, for the Akasupa. Thank you all very, very much. Opposite me is Luca. You know him. Or should I say Lucy. Singing Barbie Girl. Singing every song to perfection. Luca has that range. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Luca doesn't give a shit about what you think a man's voice should be able to do. Luca can pivot. I mean, you've heard his Mafia cover. And you've also, if you tuned into the 3-person karaoke that Luca, Mr. and I did a good while ago, back in, I think, May or April of last year, you've heard him sing Barbie Girl. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted. And oh my god. Shu Yamino. Shu Yamino was singing everything. And the range on this man's voice. He didn't care what it was. I'd never been more jealous that a man was able... that a man was fluent in Japanese, because I wanted to sing along so badly, but all of the lyrics were in hiragana, and I could not fucking read them. I probably wouldn't have been able to read them on time if they were in, Romaji, that's what it's called. Oh god, that's okay, that's a little too dramatic. He was out there, and I tweeted about it. He sang, Daddy, Daddy, Do, and his bass voice, I was like, Shu Yamino, where has this been hiding? Wherever, maybe he's used it before and I haven't seen it, but I was like, I felt like someone had opened the fucking mystical bag of winds from SpongeBob and had blasted my fucking lips apart. I was like, I genuinely couldn't fucking believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe how fucking good he sounded. And all of those, like, snarls and growls and moans that he does on Jazz and the Clock, the Jazz, how Jazz? He was doing those every single fucking time he got the chance, and I was like, oh. So how could I compete? Thing is, I don't know if I'd be able to replicate it, but at one point, I'm not sure if I actually managed to. But I'm pretty sure I did. And thank you for the 50 gifted. I really appreciate that. I'm not sure if I'd be able to replicate it. But when we decide... Okay, so first of all, Mr. and I sang like 4 Imagine Dragons songs in a row. And I sang... I'm waking up to ash and dust. I wipe my ass and I slap my nuts. Like all of the lyrics. I remembered every single one and I sang them off by heart. Even though they were obviously not on the... karaoke machine. We sang Enemy. And Mr. and I completely annihilated the fucking rap on that. I could do it again if I wanted to. Do I want to do it again? Nah, maybe I'll just leave you guys feeling jealous. We sang Enemy. We sang, what's the other one? Believer. Inhibited, Limited. I think the only part of the rap that like was difficult for me was the fact that I started fucking running out of breath. I think that's the biggest thing I have to work on if I want to get good at like throat singing or whatever the fuck it is. I need to get good at breath control. Meow Bing, thank you very much for the Aku Super. Happy New Year, darling. From Aku Nyako, thank you very much. Waini and Shinyang Kwaila. Thank you very, very much. Sla! Of course, the part that really surprised me and that I really tried was when Ike put on Bring Me to Life. And I can't remember what part of the song it was. I am so down bad, I went to Genius Lyrics and instead of typing in Bring Me to Life, I wrote Ike. What the fuck? There it is, Evanescence. How can you see into my eyes like open doors? Breathing you down into my core where I've become so numb. There was this one part at the end. I think maybe it was the chorus. Maybe it was the chorus, like a bid my blood to run. I just started tapping into this deeper part of me, and I think I actually managed to scream it like properly. I don't know if I did or not. Like, but Ike gave me a very approving look, and I was like, oh. Because there are some songs that I would really like to be able to sing, but that kind of require that different sort of range. And when I sang it, I was like, oh. Like maybe it was sort of a one-off? Nicky, thank you for the Aku Super. Maybe it was sort of like... He did? He complimented it on my screen. Ike even... on his stream, he said that as well? He wasn't just drunk? But yes, there are some songs that I really want to cover and sing. And so if I could do it once, you better be damn sure I can do it again. I'm nervous. I would want to try and replicate it right now, but I don't know if I could, is the thing. I don't know if I'd be able to, because I was like, I don't know. I was like going off to myself, and I was drunk, and I was really, really confident. I don't know. I'm really nervous. So maybe if I kind of like rev myself up a little bit at the end, or like at some other time, maybe I'll be able to. But like I don't know. I don't want to sit there and be like, yeah, I can do it, and then I can't do it. You know, I'm nervous. But you know. That's pretty much where my experience. Oh, and I did sing some songs that that suited me as well. What was it I sang? I sang a lot of Elvis. I brought back some Vox Akuma karaoke classics. Komaki, thank you for the Akasupa. Missed you. Thank you for the red envelope, my darling. I wonder if I could give me lessons, yeah. Some Vox Akuma karaoke classics, like Hurt by Johnny Cash, and a bunch of Elvis. I have been really disappointed in myself, because when I did my Christmas karaoke, I sang Blue Christmas, and I hadn't really listened to that song very often, and I think I kind of messed it up. Like, I didn't lean into the Elvisisms nearly as much as I would have wanted to. And, like I was like, oh, 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 blue, when I should have been like, oh, blue, Christmas without you. I'll feel so blue. You know, like, I really needed to lean into the, thank you very much, everybody. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. I really needed to lean into that. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it again here. And then I leaned into it, and I had such a good time singing along to that song. That was it. And Mr. and I had to leave for our flight, like, very early. I think it was Mr. Shu and I that Manager-san took us to get to. And thank fucking God, Mr. and I managed to get business class on the way back as well, because yeesh, it's a long flight. It's a long, long flight. Thank you for the Akasupa. We were both very tired. Thank you for coming to Japan. I had an absolutely wonderful time. I thought it was just a terrific place to visit. I adored it. I genuinely adored it. I thought it was fantastic. Please come again. Thank you for the Akasupa. I really, really enjoyed it. And so, yeah. That night, I went back, absolutely fucking piss drunk, genuinely piss drunk, stumble back into my hotel room. All right, music's getting a little too dramatic now. Let's go back to the default. Shit. Stumble back, piss drunk, to my hotel room. Set an alarm for like a couple of hours later, like, I will get up because I need to go to get a plane. And I just collapsed into bed. And that was when I woke up about 5 hours later. And my voice was like... Like, I woke up and I was like, oh my God, what happened to me? And that was when I made that voice tweet where I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't know who you are. I don't know what this does, but I only know one thing. And when I tried saying something nice about Luxiem, but genuinely my words got stuck in my throat, and I felt a little bit nauseous. And I was like, that's why I went, oh, Jesus. Sound like The Grudge. Yes. Thank you for the Akasupa Kid. I really appreciate it. Nikiti, thank you very much. Sena, thank you for the Akasupa. Really appreciate it. And so, yeah, that's a lot of what happened in Japan. Oh, of course, there's some other stuff I've got to talk about. I went shopping with Mr. And you guys liked my fit so much that it is now my second most liked tweet of all time, actually. It's the tweet of my lovely neck and chest in a white turtleneck and blue coat. I can't remember the brand exactly, but it was, we went to a mall in Ginza, and it was really fucking nice. It was really, really beautiful, like very bougie for a mall. And so I went to all these places. I went to one place where it was very sort of designer. Who is that. Kitty, thank you for the Akasupa. So there was another place I went, and it had, you know how Balenciaga, like, the shoes are nice? Obviously, I have a pair. But a lot of their clothes tend to be very designer, you know? It's the kind of thing that's like, if someone was wearing that in public, I'd be like, sheesh. But if I wore it in public, I'd be walking around, like, with 37 different belts across me, and I'd be like, God damn, I feel like a cunt, you know? And it was kind of like that, where it was like stylish to the point of excess, and it was like, I don't know if I have I tried it on, and I was like, I don't know if I have the confidence to pull this off. It was like sort of a jagged, asymmetrical black blazer, a white shirt with double collar, and then these pants that had like a drawstring around the ankles, so it was like wearing a business suit with clown pants, and I was like, some sexy man could definitely pull this off. I ain't feeling that sexy today. And so I abandoned that one, but that was when I went to the next. Shop, which had that white turtleneck and blue jacket, blue coat. So it's a long blue coat. It's a pretty long blue coat, like down to my knees, and then the white turtleneck, and they sort of went together. And I thought, God damn, that's gonna look nice. And I put them on, and I was like, yeah. And I took that little picture in the mirror, and I thought, yeah, they're gonna love this. They're gonna love this. And yeah, you did. Yeah, you really, really did. I really appreciated the support on that. I kept checking the tweet to be like, no, you're not God's strongest soldier. There's a demon whose clothes are a little bit too sexy. Arthur, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Thank you for coming back to Japan after 400 years. It was a pretty emotional experience, especially considering how much has changed. It really almost didn't feel like the same place. It felt pretty much brand new, and so I don't know, for a long time I sort of felt, I don't know, I felt like I could very easily slip into the spirit of the holiday, or the spirit of the trip rather, because we were there to work as well, very much, without thinking about it too much, you know, and it was nice. I didn't really feel any kind of spiritual connection other than a love for the food and a respect for the culture, which is nice. Yeah, thank you for the super, and Rumi, thank you for the Arca super as well. Glad to know you had a wonderful time in Japan with the boys. I did. I had a gorgeous fucking time in Japan. I absolutely loved it. My throat is all dry. I am going to quickly go and grab something to drink. I will be right back. I'm back, and I got myself a nice San Pellegrino limonata. Very nice. I got it with some delivery the other night. Oh God. Oh Jesus, that was nice. That was quite lovely. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Oh. That's good. Anyway. It's not alcoholic! Why do you assume... Okay, I do drink a lot, but this is not alcoholic. It's just fucking lemon. Fizzy lemon. Pei-chan, thank you for the Akasupa. I missed you too, my darling. I had a wonderful time in Japan. Okay. Yes, went shopping with Mr., which was really, really fun. Mr. and I both got hats Mr. and I both got hats. I actually got, Jesus, what do you call it? Eileen's, Inez, thank you for the Akasupa. I had a wonderful time in Japan with the boys. And Rebecca M, thank you for the Akasupa. Or Asta, thank you very much for the super as well. I got a hat, so I got a beanie. I got a sort of a beige beanie that goes with my, I got sort of like a beige beanie that really goes with, you guys know I have that brown coat that I wore to the very first off collab. Well, I wore that to Japan as well. And I got a little beanie to go with it. And it goes pretty nice. I also have the same color, and I'm not sure if it quite suits me. Not quite sure if it suits me. But there's another hat. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what type of hat it is. It's like, it's not a beret. It's like, you know the kind of hat that a guy would wear if he's hunting goose, you know? Like it's beige. It's got a little like beret tip on the top, but it's also got a bill, like a brim at the front, like a cap. Bucket? I don't think it's a bucket hat. Newsboy cap? Is that what it's called? Newsboy cap. Yeah. Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah, that's what it is. A newsboy cap. I got a beige newsboy cap. And I tried it on and I bought it because I think it's pretty. Yeah, like Peaky Blinders. Yeah, like Peaky Blinders. And I'm not sure if it suits me, but I'm gonna try wearing it a little more because I think it's nice. I like it. Oh, fucking hell, this is nice. So that was that. Played Smash with Ike for a little bit. Everyone else was off busy, and Ike and I were back at the hotel, and so I went to Ike's room, and I didn't have my HDMI cable, so we couldn't hook Smash up to the hotel room TV, and so we had to play it in single Joy-Con switch standee mode, and played it like that. And it was very difficult to get used to, but I did hit him, like I tweeted, with the meanest. It wasn't a down air spike. I was lying. I was a filthy fucking lie. It was a down B spike. You know Bowser has his down B where he like launches himself into the air and then crashes down to the fucking earth ass first with the force of 1,000 suns? Ike was one stock. I had an extra stock, so I thought, fuck it, why not? I used my jump off stage, jumped straight up to him as he was trying to recover high, downbeat right above him in the air, and as you know, if you had a really humongous cock and beautifully masculine jawline, would know that Bowser's down B has a spike hitbox on its first few active frames, which means that I fucking sent him into the Shadow Realm with Bowser's ass, and I lay back on the bed and I screamed hallelujah. Which was a memory I'm going to carry with me for a very long time. Did he mold? No, he was proud of me. No, he was very happy with me. Oh. Rebecca M, thank you for the Akasupa, Winey, and the Darling, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Shinyan Kwaila. I keep forgetting how to say it. Did I show Baba to the boys? I did. I didn't actively. Okay, listen. Listen. I'm not like so attached to this monkey that I got him out of my suitcase and was like, everybody, I'd like you to meet Baba. I wasn't about to do that, but everyone came over to my room at one point and they were all like, and Mr. was like, who's the monkey? And I was like, oh, this is Baba. And I can't remember who it was, but at some point, all of them made an acquaintance with Baba, which is just a really nice piece of history. I remember when I moved out of my old house, my roommates, God bless them, I hope they're doing well, entrusted me with Baba, and because Baba was my D&D character, and even though we all loved him very much, they entrusted him to me, and I promised, I was like, I'm gonna take Baba to see the world, and so I have taken him to Japan, even if he spent most of that time in a hotel room, and God, thing is, I would have taken Baba out with me, kind of The thing is, though, think about it from a security standpoint. There's only one monkey plushie in the world that looks like that. Because that is one of my roommates made him that coat, and that cape, and that belt. So, he's very recognizable, so I figured it might be best to leave him in the hotel room. I would, if it was safe to, I would have gone around and taken pictures of him with all of these famous Japanese landmarks, like, you know, Tokyo Tower, which we saw a bunch of times, and, we went to a lovely little traditional garden. I would have taken pictures of him there. That's another thing I have to talk about. So I think on one day we went to this place quite far, and so there were two. Awandan, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you for that red envelope, my darling. For me and Baba. Well, I assure you I'll share it with him. I'll get him some nice monkey nuts. Pardon me. Sue, thank you for the Akasupa. Shinan Kwaila. Really appreciate it. Glad you were all being so patient for me at the castle. So, we had a road trip. There were two manager sons, and one of them was driving. It wasn't in a taxi, he just got his car. And they took us to a place pretty far from Tokyo. We went to a place, I believe, in Saitama called Kawagoe. It was a fucking beautiful sunny day. And we walked in, and I feel like I hadn't really experienced, like, what... I had experienced plenty of food, but hadn't experienced too much Japanese culture yet. That changed when we went to Kawagoe, because there was so much to see, so much to experience. They had these beautiful, like, ornate, tiled roofs. They had sort of these beautiful snacks. Fried mochi I tried, and I really, really enjoyed that. What else did they have? They had... No, this is really interesting, actually. They had some custom chopsticks, actually. And I believe we need to get approval to show them, because obviously it's a product from a store. But I got some chopsticks. I got 3 pairs. See, here's the interesting thing. At this chopstick place, they were offering free engraving, so you could engrave anything you want on the chopsticks. And I had a good think about it. This chopstick store is maybe a stone's throw from a very traditional Japanese shrine. And I thought I wanted to get my name engraved, and I thought maybe asking someone who who comes from a place like this, maybe asking them to inscribe the word Akuma might be a little bit insensitive. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it blank. Maybe they can live without knowing that I'm a demon. And it was for this reason that when the others all went to check out the shrine and to see the little wooden message boards near the shrine, you know, with the bell and the water, I stayed well away because I was kind of afraid of bursting into flames, to be honest with you. I don't think that's actually how it works. I'm not sure if that's... I don't think I've ever seen another demon do that, but then again, I think a lot of us are very... careful about that kind of thing, and so we just prefer not to risk it. If I can avoid... I mean, have you guys seen what happened to the one demon from, what is it, Good Omens? Oh, that's right, I'm halal now. There was that one scene from Good Omens where the bucket of holy water gets tipped over the demon, and then he, like, turns into fucking sushi. I didn't really want to see that happen to me, to be honest. So I stayed well away. However, there was one set of chopsticks that reminded me of an old friend. And so I got some chopsticks engraved. They were black chopsticks with a bright white and blue pattern, and I had the word Tenshi engraved on them. And I still have those with me today, and I'd like to show them to you if I'm allowed. So yes, that was that. And oh, the museum! That was where I really started to sense the difference between British and Japanese everything. I'd already sensed a lot of difference, but it really came home at that point. Duraru's World, thank you so much for the Akasupa. Really appreciate it. So we went to this museum. We went to this really beautiful little festival museum, and the museum was purely dedicated to the festival culture in Kawagoe. And we walked in, and essentially, I can't remember much of what they said, because the poor lady who was showing us around, her English, it was so charming, because she clearly had limited knowledge of English, but she was trying so hard to speak as much English as possible and to work with Shu and the two managers to try and translate as much as possible, because you could tell how much she cared about her village's history and its festivals. You could tell how much she wanted us to know, and that is something that I haven't really experienced in a tourist location in the UK, honestly. It would have been there were pamphlets in English. It would have been so easy for her to hand us the pamphlet and say, oh, all the information you need is in there. Like, I can't wait to go home or whatever it is. But no, she cared so tremendously about everything she was trying to promote and teach in this place that she went above and beyond just for us, even though the majority of us, couldn't go above and beyond to speak her language. She wanted to speak ours, and I was genuinely really touched. I was really touched by that experience. I thought it was just sweet beyond words that someone would go that far because they appreciate their culture. And I think that that is missing from the UK in a lot of ways. It's like, but then a lot of the people who do sort of staunchly stand by British culture tend to be twats who are a little bit too loud about it. A lot of people tend in this country not to like that. It would be nice to. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit of a grey area. British culture is there's a lot of suffering involved. This might not be the best topic to bring up. I was just very happy to enjoy another country's culture. Certainly, Yoli, thank you for the Akasupa. Really appreciate that. And so yeah, that was that, and I really appreciated everything that happened in the town of Kawagoe on that beautiful day. And then we went home and we enjoyed the rest of the day. Every time we go to Japan, this kind of kindness is something we experience consistently. See, that was something else. They have ramen in Japan. I did. I will tell you guys about the ramen I had in a bit. Oh, Lion, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Thank you so much for the red envelope. Oh, you gorgeous thing. Really appreciate that. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Yes. The culture in Japan of respect is apparent from the moment you arrive. And it's something that is so, missing, again, from the UK. It really is. Oh my god, the red envelope. So like 4. Jesus. Thank you very much, Rebecca M, for the Akasupa. From Nabi, thank you very much. Yuko Q, thank you very Shinan Kwaila. Yuko Q, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Suming, thank you for the Akasupa. Shinyan Kwaila, thank you very much. Shuming, oh my god. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Jeez, you're being so generous to me. Oh my god. Okay. So, oh god, what was I saying? Yes, the culture of respect. So, the thing that all of us noticed about Japan from the moment we arrived, when you're outdoors, the streets are squeaky clean, and it's quiet, which, to me, felt weird. Because that is not the case in the UK at all. The streets being swept is rare. Potholes being filled is rare. And everybody who goes anywhere is as loud as fucking physically possible. Horns are honked frequently, even if you don't really need to. People shout at each other. People talk as loudly as they choose. And that is our culture in Japan. People talk at a muted volume to be respectful of the peace and quiet of everyone around them. And so you walk outside. There is minimal traffic. Maybe I didn't go to... At least from what I saw, there was minimal traffic. The streets were clean. They were quiet. And... yeah. It was just a different place. A different people entirely than I'd ever really been used to knowing. Which was really difficult to get used to, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What was I going to say? Of course. What was I going to say? So, fuck. What was I going to say? I forgot. Ramen! That's it, ramen. So, we also had some really nice, authentic fucking ramen. And... what is the name of it called? So we had two types of ramen. We had some normal tonkotsu ramen from a place in Ginza, and we had some Hakata style ramen from a place in... I can't remember. It was very near Tokyo Tower, and it was really fucking nice. It was really fucking nice. I think I preferred the Hakata style, but it was still like... oh man, like both of them were just beautiful. Like I loved both the ramen joints we went to because they felt so relaxed. It's like you go in, sit down, you have some beautiful food, couple of beers, and then you leave so someone else can sit down and have their food. And that's all it was. It was simple. It felt super like hidden away, out of the way on the street, but the food in there was fucking peng. It was absolutely fucking fantastic, bruv. Absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. I loved it. So yeah, all the food I had in Japan was fantastic. The people I met were fantastic. Reuniting with people I already knew was fantastic, and that was pretty much it. I'm really thankful for my time spent with my friends. So thankful for my time spent with my friends over there. They made me feel so... Again, every time I see Luxiem, they make me feel so appreciated and like, again, like I'm part of such a family. You know, it's genuinely like a brotherhood with the boys, and I really hope that never changes. It was such a beautiful experience the whole way through. And I think something that really stuck out to me is that it was never awkward. Even though the boys and I don't really, you know, like, we don't exactly... Here's the thing. I know it's not true for all men, but I think a lot of men, they kind of don't text each other one-on-one very much. Sometimes they will if one of the boys is upset, needs help. Sometimes if they want to play a game, they'll send him a DM. Sometimes if they want to like make plans, they will. But most of the time, men tend to be content to just chill. And I think that's true for a lot of... I think that's true for a lot of us in Luxiem. But the fact is, and the nice part of it, is that it doesn't matter that you don't talk all the time. Because whenever we do talk, it's like we've been talking for the past year every single day. Mr. and I, this really stuck out to me, it was the fact that, like, Mr. and I, like, we'd done our Clubhouse Games collab, And before that point, it was like, we chat every once in a while, we see each other every once in a while, but he's introverted. You know, we're both busy, so we don't always talk. But when he and I met up, we were in close fucking kissing proximity for a good 30 hours, and it was never awkward. We had so much to talk about. So fucking much to talk about. It never got old. On the flight there and back, we were sat next to each other, hand-holding distance, and we just sat and we chatted and we chatted and we chatted and we chatted, and it was easy and it was fun, and I just appreciate him so much for that, for being so easy and fun and relaxing to talk to. I feel like I already appreciated him so much, but I have like a newfound appreciation for how relaxing it is to talk to Mr. He's just so funny and relaxed, and maybe that comes from us both being British, but it was, yeah, a really beautiful experience, honestly, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I can't wait to see them again. I really, really can't. Oh god, it's getting, why is it getting so hot in here? Why is it so hot in here? It's January, it shouldn't be getting hot yet. Ningxi, thank you very much for the Akasupa from Chassis. Thank you very much for the Akasupa. I really appreciate it. Kiss you 10,000 times. That's a lot of kisses. Like bullets. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Flora, thank you very much for the Akasupa. But Maruilin, thank you for the Akasupa as well. Thank you so, so much. Happy New Year. So, Choco, thank you for the Akasupa. That was our Japan trip. And Estang, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you very, very much. Now that I've sort of explained a lot about it, I wanted to ask about you motherfuckers. Sugaharu, thank you for the Akasupa. I wanted to ask about you, bitch, because we need to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. I want to have a busy few weeks. I want to be busy. I want to get back to work. I mean, we're working while we're there, but I want to get back to work. This is my town. Streaming is my territory, you know what I'm saying? Sure, Howdy, thank you very much for the Akasupa, and thank you, Nana, as well. And thank you, Misto, for the super. Okairi nasai, my lord. Matani mani kitere, I think. Atani maniki dine chuchu. Thank you for the super. I had fun reading that. Aniko, thank you for the Akasupa. Shinyan Koala. Wani. I'm you, Angela. Shinyan Koala. Thank you very much for the Akasupa. Welcome back, my lord. Glad to know you had a wonderful journey in Japan. I did. So we need to discuss. What we're gonna do. Luna, thank you for the Akasupa. Yes! Under the table. We need to pick a guest. I have a few in mind, and I will be asking them. Feng Shimu, thank you for the Akasupa. So I need a couple of things to do for the rest of this week, because today is going to be a packed fucking day. I have a busy schedule coming. A busy fucking schedule indeed. Michiko, thank you very much for the Akasupa. I really appreciate that. I have a busy fucking schedule coming indeed. Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier. So this week, right after this stream, I'm going to take like an hour for lunch, just to rest, and then I am going to take like an hour for lunch, and then we're going to stream on Bilibili to celebrate the start of the new year, which is going to be really, really fun. I'm really happy to be streaming on Bilibili a little more often. I really appreciate like the warm welcome I get over there. Whenever I go over, it gives me a big fucking smile. Kairos, Donkey Kong, you're absolutely right. Rachel Shen, thank you for the Akasupa. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mr. Beast! The harem, the harem applications, I haven't heard back from staff yet. I may need to poke them to check the questions yet again because it's taking a little while, but I'm still very much keen on doing that stream. Silent, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Shinyan Kwaila, thank you very much for the red envelope. Caroline, thank you very much. So yes, Donkey Kong Tuesday will be back next week, absolutely. I have missed it very much, and I am going... knitting hand cam. Everyone wants the knitting hand cam. Alright, bet. Knitting hand cam next week. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. Okay, so we'll continue with our main series. So, knitting hand cam next week. Under the table, we will be doing. Also, I've been having a think. Horror husband. I'll ask Ike. I'll see if he wants to, because we still have to finish Mirai Nikki. Okay, thank you very much for the Arca Super Red envelope for Shoha. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. Okay, what was I going to say? So we'll continue Dorian Gray, because I love doing those fucking streams. I really, really do. I love reading stories, and I want to keep doing it. Yufeng, thank you for the Arca Super. Horror Husbandus, if Ike is down for it, and you better not give him any shit if he just isn't feeling up to it, okay? It's his choice, alright? Don't give him any shit for it. The Worm ASMR, yes, and I had a thought. And I want to reassure you that this isn't coming from a place of me feeling pressure. This is coming from me. After the Worm ASMR, which I think I will use to cap out this week, the week after, I kind of want. So we're gonna do the Your Boyfriend Loves You Even Though You Are a Worm ASMR, which is going to be funny, domestic, and cute. That's the idea. It's gonna be comedic. Tamamaki, thank you for the Arca Super. I just want to make it funny and genuinely endearing. The week after, a little bit of an idea. I kind of want, I don't think I'll go as far as I've done so in the past, but kind of wanted to do an old-fashioned sussy ASMR again. I've been feeling the itch. I feel like Mr. Incredible staring. I feel like the Green Goblin staring at his fucking helmet, you know?
His heart, Osborne. First we attack his heart.
The Vox that does sus ASMR, all of the Akumaverse characters are the Green Goblin, and I'm Norman Osborn trying to fucking resist its temptation. I'm like, no, leave me alone. No. And it's like, come on, Osborn. You and I were something special. Together we can defeat Spider-Man. But I do genuinely want to give it another try, and I have a couple ideas that I want to try out. First one I already had, which was the hyperlink blocked, which was the what's it called? The tattoo artist one, and another one that I got an idea for because of my new fit. Because in a reply to that fit, Snuffy actually said Librarian Vox, which I really liked. And then in the replies to that tweet, someone said, hang on a minute, Librarian ASMR? Where he has to tell you to be quiet? And I feel like that one would be very simple, less plot heavy, and more, let's say, very, very, very handsome librarian sat behind the desk, not talking. Obviously, it's a library. And you decide to be a fucking mischief maker, and so you're trying to get under his skin, and you keep making noise. And he has to, quote-unquote, shut you up somehow, right? I'd like it if it was sort of a slow burn. I'd like it if it was, like, a good hour or so. Like, the first hour is ASMR, like, page turning, you know, soft breathing. Maybe he's like, maybe you want to sit next to him, and you're wondering if you can, like, give him the fuck me eyes and he'll listen, but he's not cooperating. And so in the latter half, you kind of start sidling up and you start causing problems. So it's like nice soft triggers ASMR, page turning, paper sounds, you know, that sort of thing. A little bit of soft talking, like whispering whenever you try to talk to him. But then in the latter half, things are going to start to get a little crazy because you're going to start fucking with him, and then he's going to need to shut you up somehow. So that's the idea. And I also want to do that tattoo artist one as well. Thank you, SS and Kero. Thank you very much for the Akasupa. Thank you, Tabi Uta, for the Akasupa. Thank you, Rainy22 for the Akasupa. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, Blue Soda, for the Akasupa. Thank you, Tamamaki, for the Akasupa. You guys are going fucking nuts right now. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Jassy, Lulu, and a Mushroom. Thank you very much. Librarian Vox needs to have glasses. Ooh.
Get him them Ray-Bans on. Yes, please. Get him them Gucci shit.
I could have my Gucci on. Okay. Luca keeps singing that fucking song. Everywhere we went, if we ever walked past any kind of remotely designer shop, Luca would be like, I can have my Gucci on. And Mr. would be like, shut up. Kendra Brown, thank you very much for the super. I really, really appreciate that. It's very catchy, isn't it? I don't think it's that bad of a song. I like it. Oh. I'm going to turn my fan on. It is plugged in, isn't it? Where is it? There's the remote. There's a little button for my fan. I need to turn it on because it's getting hot in here. Oh. Alright. I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a really hot office. I've just woke up and it's steaming. Yes, and of course, we do need to do a project stream to appreciate some of the longer form projects, like, so there are now 2 Minecraft worlds that we need to look at, and there's the magazine. So I think that if I was to do a project stream, that's probably what I would do, is that I would take a look at, so I think what I've decided is, what we're going to do is, for projects, because I want to get through as many as possible, what we're going to do is shorter form ones like websites, you know, like the Main Coon in the Box project, I thought was a really, really nice example of this. A website with lots of fun information that's really tightly packed with lovely songs, music, stuff like that. That's the kind of thing we address at the end of a stream. But something that requires a lot of time, that's the kind of thing that I'll do my own stream for. That way, I won't wind up leading you guys to wait forever for me to take a look at your projects, and what it also means is that when I finish a game, I'm not going to have to do a really long project and then wind up feeling tired. Because the last thing I would want is to seem like I don't appreciate what you guys are doing, which I really, really fucking do. I really do. Yuting Era, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Lina, thank you very much. Xiaochu, thank you for the Akasupa. Xinyan Kuala, thank you very, very much. Han Yi, thank you very much for the super as well. I really, really appreciate that, my darling. And but so yes, I also want to play World of Warcraft on stream because I am fucking addicted. I am so addicted. My default mode right now, my default mode is playing the game. If there is nothing else to do, I just sit back down and I'm like, all right, time to grind some Mythic Plus. Time to go reset my raid locks. Time to go do my world quests. Time to go refresh my time to go update my my Rathian XP so I can get like the black dragon recolor. There is so much to do. There is so much to do. So many grinds to do. So much to work for. And professions as well, like getting artisan's metal and doing profession quests to get artisan's metal so that I can train. I'm on 90 out of 100 tailoring skill, and it's that last 10 is it seems to be taking a fucking while, and I need to get renown in order to, or renown or whatever the fuck it is, to make the recipes that I need in order to get it up to 100. So you know. Fucking hell. Ranko, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. When was the one? Hang on a minute. When was the anniversary of our membership thing? The 23rd. Ah. beautiful fart sound. All right. There you go. I got a bunch of new ones actually. I got a bunch of new ones during the Enko Dice tournament where I gave birth to Manko Chinko. Let me just check what they are before I play them so I don't wind up doing something silly. Sampler on. You got that one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Of course. Okay. Okay. This one's great. You know what I need? Hold on. I've got an idea. Hold on. This one. Downloading that shit right now. Getting that shit straight into my GoXLR. Thank you very much. Honestly, this thing, it gave me way too much power. Way too much power. Hold on. Hold on. Bada bing, bada boom. Because, yeah. My, the third and final profile on my GoXLR is still full of the sound effects from the Agent ASMR. There it is! So now we've got... Wait, this one? Isn't that great? And you've also got this one. I start out by filling it with some water, and it actually looks kind of yellow. And then I shook it around, and it became kind of warm. And then I shook it some more, and it became kind of green. And it like updates, it's like piss, warm piss, Shrek's piss. That's me. That's me whenever I see a bee. I'm looking over the horizon, I see a bee. I'm like... In news on the charity stream, yes. So, it has been approved, and Rise Above the Disorder is on the list of pre-approved charities. So really, the fundraiser could begin at any moment. My plan is I don't want this to be nothing. So, I think that I am going to try and do it in the first half of next month. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to contact some people to make a few assets to make this something special. And I'm going to try and have as many fucking guests on this thing as I physically can. So sort of a weekend in the first half of next month, we're going to have the charity stream. And it's going to be a 24-hour stream. And we are going to do some... we're going to do everything. We're going to do some challenges. We're going to play some games together. Just any way of getting as many people together as possible. Thing is, I feel like I've gone on way too long about this. Like, I know I've been up against, like, weird technological limitations to actually do a proper charity stream, but I don't want to seem like the kind of guy who's only ever talking about doing a charity stream when I had been talking about it for a long time. At the end of the day, charity is, you know, it doesn't sleep, and I feel like once I've done it once, it'll open the door, and I would very much like to keep doing them, you know, every once in a while. I don't want to be the kind of guy who talks about doing it for ages, and then it takes him ages, does it once, and then doesn't do it again. I kind of want to, you know, keep it rolling, because it's been a long time coming. Too long, I think. Way too long. And I don't like how much I've been talking about it and how it hasn't happened yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ah! Germa disliked Pilk? This is a certified hood classic. Certified bwomp moment. Very sad. I'm going to be Switzerland. Speaking of Switzerland, I have news. I have some things I want to tell you. Do you know what I watched last night? Last night, I decided to put on a film. Do you know what I watched? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess which film I watched, considering I mentioned I am going to be Switzerland? Someone will know. A character in this film says something very similar to that. There you go. Congratulations to... What is your name? Manshi Kraki, because yes, I watched the Twilight Saga Eclipse. And Jacob is a fucking asshole! I am so mad! I was so mad watching this film. I wish I watched it with people because I would have been going off so loudly about how much of a cunt Jacob is. Jesus Christ! How is anyone in their right mind Team Jacob? I don't fucking understand how anyone can watch his behavior in Eclipse. I can get finding him cute in the second film, even if he's very standoffish and rude with Edward, but in the third one, straight up he is Mr. Steal Your Girl to the point where he forcefully kisses Bella to the point where she tries to punch him. How is anyone Team Jacob? How? I don't care if he's buff as shit and takes his shirt off all the time. It's not good enough. It's not good enough at all. He needs to do better. Lindsay, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you. I'm sorry that I watched Twilight without you. I just had a burning feeling inside and I decided to fucking watch it. I have not seen the last two, so no spoilers, guys, please. I have not seen either of the Breaking Dawn ones. I'm going to do those next. And I'm excited. Thing is about Twilight, right? That scene with... okay, so first of all, the fact that Edward is so loving and so caring that he is willing to let Mr. Steal Your Girl crawl into his girlfriend's sleeping bag purely so that she doesn't freeze to death, knowing full well that he wants to keep her safe but cannot do so on his own, and so he allows this to happen, knowing it will make him uncomfortable so that she can be safe. Even in that instance, when he and Jacob talk, that is the point where anyone who is Team Jacob still, even after he forcefully kisses Bella and she punches him, or tries to anyway, before she's like, ah, you know. The conversation that they have, that is where you need to stop being Team fucking Jacob, right? The way that Edward acts is obviously, like, listen, he's like 100 years old. I'm like 400 years old, perhaps more. I get it, right? He is so mature, and the difference is that Jacob wants Bella for himself because he's horny. And that's it. Edward wants Bella to be her greatest self because he is in love. And that is the difference. Because it's that line. I remember being so riveted throughout that entire conversation, right? So riveted throughout that conversation that when Jacob says, if she chose me, would you try to kill me? And Edward says, no, because it would make her too sad. Oh my God! Stop telling me spoilers in chat. Stop it. I'm not looking. I haven't seen part 4 and 5. I haven't seen them yet. I've only seen the third one. Okay? Stop. Stop. Okay? Stop it. Stop. Everyone spam chat so I don't see any more spoilers, because I'm actually riveted, right? Anyone who is Team Jacob still after that scene? Red flag. Red fucking flag. Edward Cullen is a baby girl. He's a perfect man. And I would love him just as much as Bella does, if not more. Don't judge me for my red flag. I don't judge you, team. I watch you when you eat Cullen. Now listen. Yeah, that was really fucking weird. Yes, very weird. Very weird. But here's the key fucking difference between Edward and Jacob. By that point, those two knew each other well enough. Yes, it's extremely creepy, but there was a precedent that she knew him and trusted him at the very least. Jacob. To the point where, if he had asked to enter her room, she, you know, it wouldn't have been out of the question for for her to be like, oh yeah, sure, come in, right? Jacob, but I remind you, forcefully kisses her and she punches him. He does not care about Bella. He cares about himself. Right? And Bella kisses him back at the end and it fucking... Ah! She's so dumb. She is so dumb. Twilight is a story. Twilight is a story about an immortal simp, a male manipulator, and a fucking idiot. And the fate of the galaxy rests upon their shoulders for some reason. I don't know why yet, but it's for some fucking reason. That's that. Also, remember from the second film, Jacob hasn't, imprinted on Bella. So he's meant for somebody else, you know? That's another piece of evidence, right? Jesus. Imagine being Team fucking Jacob. Disappointed in you. Jesus fucking Christ. Will you ship yourself with Edward Cullen? Absolutely. Oh, if only I could have an Edward Cullen in my life. Oh my goodness. If only I could have Robert Pattinson stood over me, watching me eep. Watching me eep. Oh. I would wake up and I would be like... Ignis, thank you very much. Exactly! The only reason Jacob calmed down and agreed to help was because Bella agreed to kiss him. He uses that against her to get what he wants. He's a male manipulator. He's a fucking gaslighter. He's a shithead who doesn't deserve anyone's attention. I don't care if he's ripped. I don't care if he's a cute sussy dog boy. He's a cunt. I don't like him. Whereas Edward is prepared to do things that make him vastly uncomfortable and that are miles out of his comfort zone because he cares about her well-being. That's the important part, guys. Didn't Robert Pattinson hate being in those movies? Then why did he chew the scenery so hard? Why did he walk in and slay so hard if he hated being in them? Thing is, I don't think he hated being in them. I think he was afraid of Twilight being all that he was known for. And so, since then, he has been in art... I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did say that he didn't want to be... in them. But he has gone on to use that as a springboard to be in incredible art films. Genuinely, I think, one of the best actors working today. You motherfuckers seen Good Time? Have you seen The Lighthouse? Oh... I mean, you should have seen The Lighthouse by now. I've been recommending it ever since I joined NIJISANJI. It also has this thing where he doesn't tell her when shit happens and takes her away instead, but I guess it's for safety. I mean, yeah, like that's the thing in New Moon, right? Is that when he leaves for no reason, he doesn't tell her anything and breaks her heart because he's trying to keep her safe because he's worried that by being around her, she will be in danger. But even at the end of the film, he grows enough to realize that that's not a reasonable solution to help keep Bella safe. He grows and he learns and he does so for the purpose of doing what he thinks at that time is in her best interests. And he's so fucking cute. I cannot get over that line in the first film. I cannot stop fucking thinking about that line in the first film. I think it's the most adorable shit I've ever heard. When they're going into the plants class, like the biology class, right? And they're walking in and she's like, "Listen, you never say hi to me." And he says, "Hi." I was like, ah! My fucking cheeks went so red. I've never seen a cuter fucking man in my life. Kindred Down, thank you for the super. Ray Ray, Wetbag, Geek Freak, and Black Cat, thank you for the Aka Super. Oh no, thank you very much. Glad I can be a part of your family. Happy New Year, my love. Thank you, Black Cat, for the Akuma. So yes, I've been on a Twilight phase, as you could probably tell. I never thought this shit would happen, but I am so glad that some of my mates decided to sit me down and say, "No, you are gonna watch Twilight," and I was like, "Okay, all right." And by the end of it, I was so riveted. Do you know who I love from Twilight? Carlisle, Edward's dad, or at least like his sort of adoptive dad. Carlisle is so cool. I don't know much about him yet. He's just the one who assembles the family. But Carlisle is like, like before we got to that scene, they said, listen, pay attention to the visual chemistry between Bella and Carlisle when he's dressing her wounds. So she gets like, I think it's in New Moon where she like some blood gets drawn somehow, like she drops something or she hits something. One of the, I think it's God, what's his name? Jasper tries to like eat her because he goes into like a blood frenzy, and then Carlisle stops them and he goes out. And when he's dressing her wounds, I was watching the way they're looking at each other and the way that Carlisle like gives her the little squeeze on the chin. I was like, oh, like there is so much like little shit, and the way he rolls up his sleeves and the way he's like so deliberate with it, I was like, Bella, I mean, you're so obsessed with Edward and Jacob. You might be missing the real. You know, we have baby girl, and we have male manipulator Sigma male himbo. I think there's a DILF you're not keeping an eye on, or perhaps you are and you're not telling us. He's married? Like I give a fuck. That chemistry spoke for itself. That would have been hot, is all I'm saying, okay? It's also a movie, all right? It's not real, dude. It's a movie, okay? These characters aren't real. They're just they're just actors, right? I mean, if it was real, I would be, you know, I would be sending hateful emails to Mr. Taylor Lautner for having treated Mrs. Kristen Stewart in that way. But it's not fucking real. Kidiva, thank you very much. Passionate Twilight Talk is my new reason to live. It's so dumb because it's like while I'm watching them, I recognize that yes, these are very flawed films, and I still think that the first one is by far the best because its like visual identity was so fucking unique. It's also the only, I believe, to my knowledge, it's the only one directed by a woman as well, which you can fucking tell, right? But I don't know, like the plot gets messy in the second and third ones, and the second one has no Edward, and I love Edward, so like whatever. But well, no, thank you for the Akasupa. Shinyan Koala, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. You know, Edward goes away, and we have to spend time with Jacob, and as you all know, then again, New Moon does have the Bella, where the hell you been, Loca? Which might be one of the greatest lines in cinematic history. But then Eclipse does have, listen, from now on, I'm Switzerland. Hey, anyone, you guys seen this meme? From now on, I'm Switzerland. Transforms. Oh, Jesus. Such a fat crush on Carlisle. Based! Holy based! Carlisle might be the only man... No, I take that back. I take that back. I think Edward might be a perfect man. I really like Alice. Oh my god, Alex. Alice is such a fucking snack. Jesus Christ. Both Alice and Jasper, goals. Such fucking couple goals. Like, them as a pairing together, Alice is just... Oh. I don't know. Kind of wish she was the center of attention and not Bella, to be honest. Kind of wish the films were about her instead, but we can't have too many good things in the world. I think in a world where Jasper didn't exist. No, actually, I was gonna say that like an Alice and Edward power couple would be like the greatest thing I'd ever seen, but I couldn't possibly tear Alice away from Jasper. A world with Alice is a world with Jasper, and a world with Jasper is a world with Alice. There is no tearing them apart. They are just meant to fucking be together, and that's the end. And that's the end of it, right? Exactly. The ultimate. Okay, I would say that the bi panic in Twilight comes from Alice and Carlisle. They're not a couple, but those two being in a scene, I think that is like prime time. Jasper's amazing, but for me personally, I think Carlisle kind of has him beat. I should make a tier list of like sexiest Twilight characters, you know? I should make a tier list of like how sexy the Twilight characters are. And I put Jacob in dead last. Jacob in fucking F tier. I don't care how fat his titties are. The sexiest thing in the world is consent, baby. Thank you very much for listening. Team Voxland. Yes, please. Please make a fan cam of me and Edward to the song Drowning Pool. I would really enjoy that. Oblivion Avenue, thank you very much. You tell him yes. Welcome home, you silly forehead. I ain't a forehead. I'm a five-head. Seen the amount of brains in me? Seen the amount of brains it takes to make insightful Twilight commentary like this? You ever heard a man be this passionate about fucking Twilight? Kuroi 2.0. This is like the most invested I've been in a set of characters since I watched Better Call Saul. Genuinely. Like, Better Call Saul is a brilliant fucking show. Twilight, it's not good, but I love it. It's so interesting to watch these. I am so riveted in the journey these characters are going on. I have to know how it ends. Don't spoil it. That's not a sign for you to spoil it. Chat, speed it up. Some motherfucker is going to spoil it. Keep it going. Keep it going. So yes, I am going to watch Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. Maybe we'll do a watch along. I'll think about it. But to be honest, I've been enjoying watching them on my big TV. So I'll think about it. Also, they took them off Netflix, man. They took them off of Netflix. Wah. So yeah, that's kind of been most of what I did before I came back to stream. You know, obviously Japan trip was incredible. Did as much as we could. Came back. Died to fucking jet lag. Like, was actually taken out back, kneecapped, and then jet lag put a gun to the back of my head and that contained 17 darts full of horse tranquilizer, and I fucking died all day. But now I feel better, and so I feel like my sleep schedule is back on track, baby. My plan for today, since the oh god, what is it? The NIJISANJI starts tonight, and because I'm an announcer, I have to be there for the whole event. I believe it starts at 2 a.m. for me. So my plan is to finish my character creation stream, send Selene the details, and then I am going the fuck to bed for the next 8 hours, and I'm going to wake up at pretty much 2 a.m. So that should be how it works. So I'm making this work for me. I'm going to be well rested when that comes around, and you guys are going to get a fucking performance out of me, I swear to God. Can you believe the matchup? Can you believe that the die was cast that me and Doppio are casting show matches? That shit is gonna go so hard. Our energy is gonna be so unmatched. Midnight Tsukino, Domek, and Tutsituken, thank you very, very much for the super. I really, really appreciate it. Honestly, no matter what energy I bring to this, I don't know if I'll ever be able to match the shit that comes out of that man's mind. I don't think I'll ever be able to understand quite how just... It's like I said, you crack open Doppio's head and look inside, you see the eldritch truth. Remember when we watched Martyrs? That horrible, 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 violent, disgusting film? And it's all about, like, discovering what happens after death? You look inside Doppio's head and you find out! At least that's what I imagine. Anyway. I need to go. I am going to relax for a bit, and I am going to get some food. Because I have to go for a stream on Bilibili in about 45 minutes for us to count down to the new year. So I'm very, very excited for that. I can't wait for it. So if you guys are able to, I would really appreciate it if you could follow me over and support me there. Let's get number 1 on the side again. Please. It greatly tickles me. Do you know what really tickled me? Was the fact that the last time I did my little, kind of, you know, the very intimate ASMR mic stream on Bilibili, and we had more viewers than the official Genshin Impact channel. I was like, yeah! Come on! Yeah! Suck my fucking balls, Genshin! Yeah! That was pretty fucking fantastic. So, who would win? Who would win in a fight? The entirety of Genshin Impact, or one scrunkly demon boy? Who wins in a fight? Anyway, that's gonna be all from me. I'm gonna log off. It was wonderful to chat with you guys again. I really appreciate getting to see you after such a long break. I'm gonna have a busy day, so please make sure to stay tuned. So, right after this, I'm gonna be going to Bilibili, so make sure you follow me there. And then after that, I am going to be making my character for NSFW. So, make sure to join me for that, and I will see you all in about 40 minutes. Thank you for coming, and make sure to stop being in Team Jacob. Goodbye! Mwah. I'm back, baby. That's not the right sound effect. This is the right sound effect. I'm back, baby. I didn't do it right in my eyes. I'm back, baby. That's better. Bye. Sook. Ah, yeah.